I felt the ringing more than I heard it. The when and where doesn't matter anymore. It's all gone. What does matter is that the unknown was calling. Long distance. I knew if I didn't pick up that phone, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. But whatever was on the other end wasn't chatty. Reached out, pulled me through time and space. I should have been afraid. Because it was one horror show after the next. I was skipping around like a needle across the record, jumping from track to track because of my will was not my own. But I wasn't afraid. Not of death, not of aliens, not of whatever this was.
Only the Vex have come close to time travel, but not like this.
Can you go back?
Not as Neon.
Orin's right. I don't think I can now.
You could have told us at any time. Why conceal the truth?
Protocol, I didn't know if I could trust you. In my time, I worked for an organization called the Department of External Observation. The DEO was trying to make contact with extraterrestrials, so we had protocol to follow in the event of abduction. That protocol meant concealing who I was and where I was from to keep my people safe, but they're all gone. I'm alone, and I need help.
Hell of a trip you hitchhiked. Sheesh. I've got a drink if you need one, kid.
Eons ago, the Nine gave me something. Said I'd know what to do with it when the time came. Now, I ain't above looking a gift horse in the mouth. But this horse, it ain't got no mouth. You've seen it. That haul I got strapped to the back of the derelict. Time came and went. I all but gave up. Thought I was doomed to drag half a planet's worth of dead weight behind me until old Soul froze over. But listen, hero. Ever since we got here, something's been scratching at the back of my brain. The hall's acting up. I don't reckon I know what to do with it, but I've got a thought. You could go so far as to call it an inkling. You've banked a lot of motes over the years. Maybe it's time to cash out.
Another lost enclave of humanity. It's incredible. After Neptune, I thought for sure there could be no more. I am rarely so glad to be wrong. We must establish ties with them. Do whatever you can, Guardian. But there is the problem of communication. Relying on Lodi troubles me, as helpful as he is. It would be better to be able to speak to them directly. Even one layer of translation can lose meaning, nuance. No need to mistrust him on my account.
How do you... There! Oh, Guardian! The Ionians were a huge help when I first arrived. I was disoriented. They helped me keep my feet on the ground.
We must learn more. Investigate, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you to be polite.
Aisita ikakera pania wasinga tutu uyasati uyasuni kukuya Opai anayesure alakatia dura Fima alakoyestu yadina yasambunkasu yasuni alakatia yadapia
The Ionians are a society of scientists. I guess that's what happens when researchers end up on the outskirts of everything and stay there forever. Anyone you chat with will probably send you to the Dean. She nearly had a heart attack when I arrived. Called me anomaly blessed. They call you that too. Their language is tonal, but really distinct. It's like someone put Basque and a theremin in a blender and let it run over a few centuries. Man, humans are amazing.
Yabasakinde, Yaseharwa Mamiakuya, Yasatiaku, Yaya Sundiaria Kuyapu, Aria Sapake Chikaya, Yasundiaku Fasu, Yasundiakuya Pakia, Ayabasintia Kunde, Perdisinga Pake, Professor Fiola, Yasundia Parekatun Kapura, Yasundia Pataya.
Guardian, you've met Dean Rebecca. She's my rescuer, your host. She wants our help studying the Vex, and I've only been able to get so far.
I'm not surprised. They're hostile on a good day.
They didn't seem to mind me getting close.
It's odd they didn't shoot you on sight.
Huh. The Dean would appreciate help bringing deactivated Vex samples to Professor Viola.
Guardian, you have one new call.
I have a favor to ask you, Guardian. It's about Lodi. Right now we have to rely on him, to translate, to guide. But it's too convenient. We find a perfectly suitable ally who just happened to arrive here a little before we did. The Ionians have been isolated. I wouldn't expect them to know about Guardians or the Traveler, for instance. But Lodi seemed taken aback to see Exo and Awoken in shared files. Even the Neomuni, sheltered though they were, had those baselines. Where did he come from? Something about him is stranger, even than present circumstances suggest. Earn his trust, Guardian. Perhaps he'll be more forthcoming with you. The language will have to come with time. But the things they know. If I could just understand now, one step at a time. I've been able to initiate dialogues here and there with the Ionians, not much. But better than nothing. They are patient. I suppose they would have to be. One of them repeated the same thing for me, 20 times at least. I couldn't quite understand something about the holy anomaly. And Lodi, maybe. I'll have to try again.
Kepler is two things at once. Suspiciously serendipitous and deliberately challenging. It's like we were invited to a dinner and sat at our assigned seats without looking at the place cards. Someone wanted us all to meet. So where's the host?
I've been standing under the stars thinking about Orbits. How sometimes the pull of gravity between bodies is symbiotic, and other times, disastrous. You can destroy an entire solar system by placing one aberrant mass into the balance, skewing the gravity of a closed system. I'm beginning to worry Lodi might be such an aberration. I didn't have a solid theory until we realized the Vex were involved here. Maya's collective seems to be looking for the same things Lodi is. If their motives are aligned, other things could be too. I want you on this. Find out what the Vex are researching. And take note of how Lodi reacts. If their orbits intersect, make sure we know how.
This stays between us. You know I've carried my suspicions around our arrival here, around Lodi.
I don't know, Ikora. I can see how his tendency to be vague is suspicious, but he seems to genuinely want to help.
Recently, Ophiuchus uncovered that he's been sending encoded transmissions using Vex arrays, but we don't know to whom.
Oh.
He's exchanging information and pretending to be a lone agent. At the very least, he's sending out information and lying about it. I found the locations of the arrays. I'm forwarding them to you. Scrape their data and send it back.
Understood.
Guardian, someone's on the line.
Lodi here. Hope it's not a bad time, Guardian. Miss Ray isn't answering my calls. I don't know how I managed it, but I may have offended her. She asked me plenty of questions about the Vex right before, too. I guess she didn't like my answers. There's something new about the Vex I thought you and she should know. The Vex have been taking passive readings off the Singularity as long as I've been watching them. Now they're pinging it hard. Trying for a reaction. I keep getting this awful buzz interfering with my comm line. That's all I know. And please, when you get the chance, give Miss Ray my warmest regards. I hate to lose her esteem.
I can't figure you out, Lodi. Every logical part of me says your story isn't believable, that all signs point to you being a Vex simulation. And at the same time, something in my gut says I can trust you.
You can feel about me however you like. But I've got your back, Miss Ray. Always have.
That's from a Golden Age game called chess. I found a few pieces myself on Earth. It's a sure sign the Nine got their eyes on you. I used to think they were telling us to be strategic, think it through, play the long game. But now, I think it's a reminder that we're just placeholders, stored in a little box they call time, until they're all burned out. Like Orin. Maybe that's just my guilty conscience talking. Go out there and prove me wrong, hero. I'm begging you.
Sounds like there are more pieces to collect in the Accord.
I'd sure like to know what they all mean. Wouldn't you? Do it to it, hero. Last time I found one of these pieces, I was having a hard time. Fixing to bug out of this orbit for good. And they're what stopped me. Convinced me there was something left for me here after all. Figured they were secret clues to my place in the Nine's grand plan. Turns out, they were Ionian messages that never made it home. I'd just been collecting undelivered mail this whole time. Even if they weren't meant for me, there's no doubt in my mind I was meant to deliver them. I'm glad they finally made it back home, where they belong. Just like me.
They're clearly very upset, and I don't blame them. Abduction is terrifying. I still haven't been able to suss out why talks with the exiles went south. I mean, these are poor circumstances for negotiation.
The readings on Kepler are still spiking. The singularity is still a threat. We'll need the Ionians' help if we want to open that lock.
Oh shit.
That's just as many researchers as the Emeritus said there would be. Didn't lose anyone. That's a relief.
I wonder if you might shed some light on something while we're still learning the language. This settlement is obviously well established, over decades if not centuries, but I see little in the way of weapon emplacements or true fortifications. Has there been no conflict all that time?
That's the gist I'm getting. The Vex are new, and the Elixni, well, they used to have a working trade relationship. Armed conflict is new for the locals.
Opakan, Unfiere Supercon, Olan Fusia, Tukia, Suderia, Mika, Sukafa to Tuya, Usigara Fusite, Yasakai, Uyafu to Shukuru. Divare de Tanas Balara, Yosundiaba, Alamane, Yaluisia, Axia, Sushinde, Nsa, Ultimaru, Sindi.
You got my favorite thank you! Nice work, Guardian. You reunited the Ionians with their loved ones.
The scale of this problem concerns me. Our forces aren't so robust as to defend this whole settlement indefinitely, and defense is fruitless if we can't stabilize the singularity. We just discovered a lost colony. This discovery changes how we see our own system. How many others are out there?
Guardian, you've got an incoming call.
You've made great strides in communicating with the Ionians. We've learned their language has multiple origins. Little wonder it needs such effort. Understanding comes not a moment too soon. Between the Elixni and the Vex, the situation here is unstable. And we have so much to learn from them. I followed your example in translating. Script first, then words. These notes you recovered, unbelievable. The advances this outlines in gravitational manipulation, without the light. And that's only one thesis. I hope some of them at least will be amenable to returning to Earth. We cannot lose this connection. We simply can't.
The destructive activity in the agricultural zone is reading as Vex. They're the ones attacking the food supply.
Stop me if this one is obvious, but do Vex need to eat?
Not in any fashion we'd recognize.
Sounds like an empty life. Then this is just sabotage against the Ionians.
As if they weren't facing enough. The Nine, the Vex, and a singularity ripping the planet apart. That's too obvious a coincidence to ignore.
That Vex looks like it's protecting something. Guardian, watch out.
Vex tended to just let me pass on by before you showed up.
Excuse me? The Vex ignored you.
Guess they didn't see me as a threat. What can I say? I have a friendly face.
Lodi, how are you so adept with the Ionians' language? You said you've been here a few weeks, at best.
Oh, I was made for this. I'm a translator. I especially love languages I've never heard before.
There's the Vex. Let's redirect and get that shield down. Guardian, we should take a scan of that drive. See if there's any data stuck offline the Ionians need.
It's incredible. Terms I recognize mapped to advanced concepts, prefixes and suffixes as used in agricultural science. We can use this. Let me do some analyzing, but this is a huge missing piece to understanding the Ionians.
Under the circumstances, what keeps the Ionians here? We could begin evacuation proceedings. They would be safe back on Earth.
But they wouldn't be home. They could take a piece of Kepler with them, sure, but it's not the same.
Homes can be replaced, but lives can't.
The Ionians might feel differently about that. This place is sacred to them. The universe determined they belong here. Singularity or not, we can't tell people to pack up and leave yet. Not without helping people who have been stranded from the rest of humanity.
Agreed. No one's leaving until we learn more.